Hey guys, welcome to a rant video. I don't like having to do this rant video, but yeah, I have to do it. Today, or obviously yesterday, was the release of the NHL schedule, and today we found out broadcast information on NBC and NBC Sports Network. They'll be airing 70 games between the two networks, and the first major issue: only 21 teams are represented. Yeah, almost a third of the league, nothing. You want to know who those teams were? Carolina, Florida, who won their division last year, Anaheim. Why couldn't they squeeze in a Ducks-Kings rivalry weekend? I mean, they're only 45 minutes apart. Other than the tri-state area, they're probably the two closest teams. Actually, no, Philly. Maybe. I don't know. I'll have to look that up later. And then Jets, Senators, Maple Leafs, Oilers, Flames, Canucks. Okay, so in there you have a Stanley Cup finalist from 2 years ago who won the President's Trophy last year, a division winner from last year, um, and yeah, and Carolina. I don't even get why they couldn't throw them on against the Penguins. I'll get to the Penguins in a little bit. That's one that really riles me up. Like Jordan Stahl's first game back in Pittsburgh. Maybe wouldn't that be a good idea? Whatever. So let me get on to Pittsburgh and Philly and Detroit. Those are the three teams that play a lot. Okay, Pittsburgh plays 15 times between NBC and NBC Sports Network. That is almost a third of their schedule. Actually, it's only one off of a third. That is a disgrace. I mean, yeah, they're a good team, but you could give up like 5 of those. Pittsburgh, Philly, who's on like 16 times, and Detroit, who's also on a lot. Let me check and see how much there is, if I can find the link. Um, yeah, well, I would be willing to sacrifice, a couple of Pittsburgh or Philadelphia or Detroit games or Chicago games to be able to see a team like, a game like Panthers Lightning. Why isn't that on rivalry weekend instead of Wild Red Wings? They're not even rivals. Or Wild Blackhawks. I mean, the only thing I know about Wild Blackhawks is that sick move by Patrick Kane in the shootout last year. Alright, let me take a look and take a count. Detroit is on, let me count, 12 times. So Detroit 12 times. Philadelphia, whoops, is on 16 times. And Pittsburgh's on 15 times. Yeah. And then you got improved teams like Carolina, who aren't going to be accounted for. I don't know what they have against Canadian teams. I mean, Toronto Buffalo, that would draw a decent, amount of people because that's actually a pretty big rivalry. They might be two closest teams to each other, outside of the tri-state area. And actually, I think they are. I don't know. I'll have to look that up later. Then you also have, um, as I said before, Panthers Lightning, Battle of Florida. Um, Jets, it's they're in a sticky situation because they don't really have a rival to show them against. Um, because there's no interconference games. The closest team to them geographically is the Wild, who are about 8 hours away. So they're kind of in a sticky situation with the whole realignment thing. Ottawa, you could probably throw them against Boston or something. And Montreal's represented. Vancouver and Chicago. That is supposedly a developing rivalry. Like, the fans hate each other, the players hate each other, especially after Keith's hit on Henrik Sedin, I think it was. I don't know. I forget which Sedin it was. I think it was Henrik, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Yeah. And there's no, Edmonton and Calgary, again, kind of a sticky situation. They're kind of isolated, but, you know, maybe a battle of Alberta, although NBC has some sort of predetermined bias against Canadian teams. But that's also, again, that's kind of obvious because it's the National Broadcasting Corporation in the United States, but still. Um, All I know about this season is NBC no longer stands for National Broadcasting Corporation. It stands for nothing but Crosby. And that makes me mad. It makes a lot of people mad. Like, a lot of fans of these teams that aren't there. Carolina's going to be good this year. Come on. They got Jordan Staal and Semin, which is going to help them. You know, their offense was, you know, not very deep. It was about as deep as a puddle. They basically had Staal, Eric Staal. That was about it, because Skinner missed most of the season. He had that concussion from a Penguin cheap shot, I think. Was it the Penguins? I think it was. I think it was Orpik. But again, don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure it was Orpik, but I'm not 100%. So yeah, I guess that just about does it for this short little rant video. Looks like I'm going to have to turn to my computer for all 48 Jets games. Fuck you, NBC. Nothing but Crosby indeed.